Hi everyone, welcome to BRICS Briefs. In this episode, we're going to be talking about higher education, especially in the BRICS Plus countries, but not exclusive to those BRICS Plus countries. Another alliance has been formed and it is growing. We want to introduce you to our special guests who will talk all about it, and they hope that you will also share their ambitions and join in the initiative. So this is an interactive discussion, this one, with the whole audience. Anastasia is here with us. Hi, Anastasia. Thanks for coming.
Hi. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show today.
Yeah, awesome. All right. We know you love Anastasia. She's coming back. I need the help too, So, okay. Please bear with me while I properly introduce our distinguished guests. They have significant backgrounds and experience, so if I could please have your patience. I'll introduce our guests one at a time. First is Mr. Bogdan Voronovsky, CEO of BRICS University Association, BUA for short.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, Bogdan.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, BRICS Universities Association is a non-profit alliance of higher education institutions from Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and universities from countries joining the BRICS Plus group. Bogdan is Director General of Eastern European Universities Association and is appointed as CEO of BUA. He is an international leader, experienced professional, a passionate traveler with 13 years of successful experience in global higher education. He is responsible for the strategy and development of BUA, as well as for the overall organization management. His expertise and leadership in international higher education make him a key figure in advancing the global engagement and academic cooperation of universities across Eastern Europe and the BRICS Plus nations. His work is instrumental in connecting institutions, enhancing student recruitment strategies, and driving forward the mission of the BRICS Universities Association. Our second guest, Dr. Masamba Kah, Ambassador of BRICS Universities Association.
Hi,
Masamba. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Kah holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Material Science. He is Director of the Industrial Educational Partnership Project at the National University of Science and Technology, MISIS, in Russia. Also, expert of international projects for the People's Friendship University of Russia. Expert of the International Competence Center for Mining Engineering Education under the auspices of UNESCO at St. Petersburg Mining University. And finally, Masamba is the coordinator of nuclear education programs for Consortium of State Corporation Rosatom Universities, responsible for development of collaborative projects in research and education. Thank you both for your time. It is very much appreciated.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. You both have an outstanding bio, and it's our honor to have you here with us to have a talk about education.
You do everything for BRICS.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much for joining us today.
So before we begin our main show, we've prepared a short video to introduce tonight's discussion. We'll be back shortly.
The BRICS Universities Association is leading a groundbreaking initiative to enhance educational collaboration among BRICS countries and emerging economies. This effort recognizes education's pivotal role in driving economic growth and promoting social equality. The association aims to create a robust network for educational collaboration, development, and innovation across the BRICS bloc. Key initiatives include joint research programs, student and faculty exchanges, and collaborative academic programs. These efforts seek to improve the quality and accessibility of higher education, fostering a more interconnected and knowledge-driven community. A critical focus is addressing the challenge of mutual recognition of degrees and qualifications across BRICS nations. The association is working towards streamlined processes to ensure degrees from any BRICS country are recognized through the bloc, facilitating increased mobility for students and academics. The impact of political dynamics on these educational initiatives is significant. The association faces challenges in managing political, economic, and logistical barriers while promoting shared resources, knowledge transfer, and cultural exchange. The long-term vision of the BRICS Universities Association is ambitious and aims to foster a collaborative and innovative educational environment that supports national progress and development through the bloc. Just this past June, BRICS education ministers discussed an important proposal in Kazan, the creation of a BRICS-specific university ranking system. The initiative addresses concerns about perceived bias in existing global ranking systems and aims to provide a more relevant and equitable assessment framework. Today, we will also seek to understand the potential and importance of this idea. As they evolve, these efforts promise to shape the future of higher education in BRICS countries, potentially influencing global educational trends and promoting a new era of international academic cooperation. We have got two great guests joining us today. Bogdan Voronovsky, who is the CEO of the BRICS Universities Association, and Dr. Masamba Kah. He is a PhD in semiconductor physics from the University of Surrey, and he is an expert of international projects at People's Friendship University of Russia. Join us for an interesting chat that will help us understand more about the international education and its part in making the world a better place.
There we go. All right, go ahead, Anastasia.
Yeah, let's get started with our questions to our guests. And I think the main question I will address, in my opinion, this is the main question. And the first one I will address to Bogdan Voronovsky.
Okay.
We were talking, that we are in Think BRICS. We are talking about BRICS in general in both countries. And how do you view the role of education in driving economic growth and social equality within the BRICS countries?
We see that this is a point, actually, the main stone of all development is education. Because I've been to maybe 70 and more countries, many countries in African region, Asia, Latin America. And we see that children's and people's eyes are always so bright, they're so energetic. They just need a proper facilities and proper system to get an education, and especially higher education, to have knowledge and skills to be able to develop their local economy, and then it will help develop our global economy, at least within BRICS countries. And we see that in general, in our world, we have some unequal things in many spheres, and we see that in BRICS countries, let's say Russia, China already has a very good history of making nation from down to up, and creating infrastructure for higher education, for actually preliminary education, secondary school and higher education, and it helps people to grow, it helps economy to grow. And we see that our countries can share this experience, can share this infrastructure, while others still don't have it. We can share our educational facilities, and people can come from one country to another country to get knowledge about, let's say, aviation. For example, Ethiopia wants to have more universities be strong in aviation science, so they can send their master students for PhD in Russia and China to get to be more prepared in this sphere, And after 5, 10, maybe 20 years, they will have their own strong faculty to be able to produce graduates with good knowledge in aviation sphere, and etc., etc. So in general, my opinion, and this is actually opinion of many successful people, East or West doesn't matter. Education is always the best investment. And here we see that we have a big human resource, especially China and India, and also other countries. And we have to give those people proper education, and they will be able to pay back to their countries, to BRICS countries, by their impact into the economy after they will get education. So, and this is the main driver which help us to go next and to go to our mission, vision, and all our tools which we use to make it done. So this is our opinion about this question.
Dr.
Okay.
Kah,
It's-
do you
it's a
have
very
something about the role of education in driving economic growth and social equality? Because as Bogdan mentioned, the ability to get high education is not equal in all countries. Yes, in Russia and in China, we have more opportunities, I guess, than it is in South Africa, might be, or in India, or even the new arrivals to BRICS family, Egypt, Ethiopia.
Yes.
So, what's your point?
Well, I think we are witnessing a unique phase of development of humanity in terms of communication, first of all. And communication is really the basis of education, because that's how we transfer information without having direct experience of things. And if we look at the way, say, the science has been developing over the last 300 years, from just one subject of natural science to what we are facing now, multitude and multiple of various research directions and projects, that it's like a tree split into so many branches of science, where we have to now deploy artificial intelligence to be able to monitor and make sense of all of this information that we are gathering. So what we're witnessing now is that all of these clips are now converging into a new state of exchange of information, in a sense, education. So contributions from emerging economies in terms of their social background, historical background, cultural background, is what the established science schools are now really looking into. So social sciences, I think, will shape the way we think about natural sciences that we develop, because they will give us the necessary ideas to apply this technology and progress them further. So here, the role of education becomes a form of social organization, where it's no longer an elite or a segregated area of human activity, but a must for the mind, for human development. So what I think will happen, more and more organizations and institutions will spend into education of their staff, into their future generations, into their research. So the education becomes like, for example, travel. International travel has become now a global phenomenon for exchange of communication. Now we will see education with the communicative technologies that we are facing as a global phenomena, where it's no longer a localized matter at particular university, but it's about an individual being able to navigate themselves with all this information coming towards them, to develop their own talent, their own ability, to contribute positively to the economic development of their own country and globally as well. So I think education is the most important area of human engagement from now onwards for the next 50 years at least, for us to see the next technological change globally that will change our lives in a kind of a leap from if you look at the example of say using a needle to sew your clothes to a sewing machine, that kind of leap of social engagement we will witness because of the multitudes of ideas that will flow into this common pot of education globally. So I think it is the most exciting time right now.
Okay, thank you very
It
much.
is. I just wanted to say, you guys have what you've said. It's very interesting from my background, where you're saying that so much value comes from education. That's broadly. And obviously, a lot of the times on this channel, we talk about economics, finance, and we really get into that. And because it's a very big subject and a lot of people are interested in it. But actually, I should read this. So for STEM education, pretty much the same, but for economic, history, and politics are full of neoliberalism theory, which pro-bankers and no regulation. We need to find new alternative. That's a comment by Krista Liz. Very good comment. I agree. Just continuing my point, I think absolutely I agree with both of you. Education is absolutely very important. But I think people don't really understand that the mind, innovation, individuals actually create wealth through their labor. And we've lost that. And that particular comment, Krista Liz has said, this is a neoliberal model, right? Consumerism. So in a different way, you guys, this topic that we're bringing tonight to the audience is very important in this respect. So I just want to clarify that a little bit. But obviously, you guys in the BRICS Plus Universities Association, particularly, you have a strategic vision. So I would ask you, probably, Masamba, what is the vision and mission of BRICS Plus Universities Association in terms of educational collaboration and development?
Well, it has to be industry-oriented education at first. I think if we look into best practices of Soviet Union, say, as a historical phenomenon, it's a planned economy with a mass of land being organized 5 years ahead. So the reason why it was successful is because of so-called specialist type university. Specialist type university is integrated into the industry, like the head of the industry, whereas the industrial companies are the arms in various fields, in mining, metallurgy, transport.
Oh, we lost him. I know you're back. Continue.
So industry integrated institutions allowed to have adequate curriculum that is continuously updated. And now with the speed of information update, we have to have curriculum that will be relevant upon graduation. So those new communities that entering into the higher education field, it's actually a field, a unified field of the world. They have to be able to compete in a nice way with the established institutions, with their programs. The only way they can do that is with direct affiliation with the industry, because the information comes from interacting with whichever field you are specializing in. Hence, this model, industrial educational partnership, is the way for BRICS community to upgrade their kind of, I wouldn't, it's not a bad word, but it's the one that fits context more. Leftovers, if you know what I mean. Educational leftovers from theories, books that just are passed down like the big baggy clothes to your siblings that are following you. They're not necessarily fitting you, but they just do the job covering you up. But now with things becoming more and more individual, universities of the BRICS community have to orient themselves towards industry so that their curriculum becomes industry relevant and their graduates are able to compete with graduates from established universities. So this model means that universities and companies have to review their protocols and start moving towards each other. Because what we're witnessing, especially in Africa, that the universities are somewhat detached from industrial companies that use specialists from abroad that do not contribute directly to the economy and to knowledge localization, in a sense. So, because when they finish their contract, they leave and the knowledge lives with them. So this knowledge localization mechanism has to be established between universities and companies and governed by a sound governmental policy to make sure that it's a sustainable and predictable manner. It's not subject to someone's decision, but it's an actual fact that guarantees over time real transfer of knowledge to BRICS countries. That's when the change will take place.
Okay. Thank you
Also,
very much.
I want to add a very important note that our mission is also to help people to change their mind. I think you also been to many countries, and when you go to, say, India, Brazil, South Africa, especially India, sometimes you can find people, young people, and even their parents tell them that my friend, like my son, my daughter, I will, collect money from all our village, and we'll give you finance. You go Canada or US for your better future, and they will never come back.
Mhm.
They will never develop India. We have to explain to people that they can find good job in their own country. They can find good future in their own countries. They don't have to go abroad forever to some successful countries where life is not easy too. But many of them, after just watching movies about Hollywood or something, have a wrong idea about life. They think that somewhere is easy life, and they want to find money to buy this easy life. It's not possible to buy this easy life. We have to educate our young generation that we have to build up this nice life by our hands together, by good cooperation, by making India, Russia, Brazil, all our big BRICS countries better by ourselves, by cooperation. And in this case, Masamba point out very important stuff that business sometimes need another graduates, and universities have to listen to business and understand what they have to, how they have to prepare those
Whom
students.
to produce.
Yes, whom to produce. But also the very important idea is in a good way, proper propaganda to young generation that we can make our country better by ourselves. You can get your education experience abroad. This is good. Maybe bachelor level you get in China, master in Russia, then come back India or South Africa and implement best practices, implement skills which you got from other country students and make better your country. And this cooperation, by other countries, but make everything yourself better. Don't try to buy easy life somewhere. It's not possible. Make it by yourself. And this idea is a proper idea for all BRICS countries, and it will help to give to our students proper vector where to go and why. Yes.
About may I add something about better life?
Yes.
For many years, they were talking that half of Silicon Valley employees are from India, and now those engineers, those guys are coming back to India, because in India there is a huge opportunity.
Yes.
Good.
This is the way how we
And
move.
also now we see the good trend in China. Many Chinese students who study in US, Canada, they come back China. They don't try to remain there. But before, let's say 10, 15 years back, many Chinese students, after graduation from US or Canada universities, they were trying to remain in Canada and US. Now they're coming back to China. And also, a very important point, because now political situation is not easy, is not as it was, let's say, 3 years before. And because of this, BRICS countries have to promote themselves to each other. I mean, we have to explain to students, let's say in Russia, that guys, learn about Latin America, about Brazil, Argentina, learn Spanish, Portuguese, learn their mentality to be able to do the direct business with Brazil without using Holland as a Rotterdam port for some, logistics things. We can do many things directly without intermediary, which we were using before. And for this, we must have more people who will know culture of each other. So it's cross-cultural should be communication and development, so people will understand culture of other countries and will be able to organize a business directly. Thank you.
One note about China. That's right. You mentioned that Chinese students who graduated abroad now are coming back to China. But before they decided to come back, there was a call from Chinese government telling, come on, guys, now you are well educated, you have a degree, it's time to serve your motherland, and we will help you. And
Yes.
that was from the government, this idea to bring back all well-educated people, smart enough, that are able to bring benefit to their country. So in this way, in my opinion, the governments, the heads of the states, they should promote the possibilities of their countries too. Not to stimulate, go abroad, but go abroad and come back.
Yes,
That's,
correct.
I agree with you, Bogdan.
Yeah, thank you.
Clive?
Yeah, no, go ahead. If you want to ask the next question, Anastasia.
Yes, I have. Well, as soon as we are talking much about your association, BRICS Plus Universities Association, we have some brief information about the organization. And can you elaborate on the key initiatives and projects currently being undertaken by BRICS Plus and Universities Association to enhance higher education? What projects do you have right now?
We have two main big projects, which are as the main tools for universities. And first of them is their online platform where every BRICS Plus university become a member and they can describe themselves international cooperation wise. For example, I'm a university from Chennai, India. I will give my description that we have following faculties and we are interested to have cooperation with, for example, universities in maybe nuclear science or maybe medical science. And we want to have short-term programs or long-term programs or faculty exchange or stuff like this. And then other universities who also register on this platform, they will be able to find relevant partner university because everyone will be described international cooperation wise in terms of faculties, courses, duration, level of education, and the type of exchanges. it helps to find your preliminary partners and to see the demand from other countries who possibly can be your partner. And another project is which helps to concrete the ideas and initiatives of the first one is the annual conference. We call it BRICS Plus University Summit. This year it will be in India, first week of December, where we will invite all people who is responsible for international cooperation from universities which belong to BRICS Plus countries, where they can meet each other. First day we will discuss different topics about cooperation, and next day we will have pre-scheduled one-to-one meetings. So before they will come to the conference, they will see a description of each other and we will point out colleagues with whom they want to meet. They don't discuss when to meet and where. They just say, I want to meet with you, with you, with you. And system will find time slots, matchmaking, and they will come for the conference. And every 30 minutes, new bell, there is a bell, and you have a new meeting with a partner with whom you already pre-scheduled this appointment. So it will help to make more efficient matchmaking of universities. And during the conference, we also will collect opinion of people about their ideas, what to develop, how to develop. And according to this, we will point out good ideas for new projects, which we can develop for BRICS Plus universities. Thank you.
If I may add, one example of the partnership we mentioned in our video dedicated to higher education in BRICS. I don't know if your association was involved in this. It's a collaboration between Moscow Physics and Nuclear Energy Institute that opens a faculty in Egypt on the basis of Egyptian, in Cairo, if I'm not mistaken, Polytechnical University, that will prepare the future engineers in nuclear energy for the Al-Dabar nuclear power plant. So this kind of a cooperation we have.
The same type of cooperation is going in also in other countries where Rosatom is having under construction nuclear power plant, like in Bangladesh, in Turkey, in other countries, and also there are also other industries, maybe less impressive in terms of wow, nuclear. Everyone, it's interesting, but there are other industries where cooperation is going on, and they need more people who will be working in this sphere. And when we explain to future students that guys, you're gonna work in your country as a nice specialist because these guys want to employ you after 4 years. Let's go. And then they see that this is a good way, because students, they don't want to get education. They want to see their sweet future. And we also have to give them this picture as a sweet future. We can't tell them, the guys, your life will be hard. Yes, your life will be very interesting, but you have to study, you have to prepare to work. There will be some obstacles, but we'll help you to overcome. And you see, there is a light somewhere there. Yes, please go towards this light. And when we explain them all the stories, they go. And when we have all these components together, and this is our role to help universities, industries, countries to find all of these components and put them in the proper order. When we see the full circle is done, and then students go, they want to work, and then companies are having good employees, and company has
important that they have a where to work. So win-win situation should be everywhere. So employees, they know that in a few years they will have qualified engineers or I don't know, teachers, doctors, and so on in their country. Universities know that the students they are teaching today, tomorrow will have job, definitely.
Correct. Yes.
And students know, if I remain here in my country and I study here, So then tomorrow I have my job guaranteed. So this is very important. Yeah, it's very important to have.
Sorry, Anastasia, the question came up, but I think you should address you guys. So, can someone from non-BRICS countries also go to the BRICS University?
Correct. This is a very good question, and we already have so many universities doing this. Yes, we are open. It's just BRICS Plus is a core of the association. Or universities from any other countries who want to join our project, they're always welcome. We are open to new countries, to new universities outside BRICS Plus too. So welcome.
Great, that's excellent. I think people are going to be asking this sort of question, like particularly, I'll just a case study of myself. I did electronic engineering when I first came out of high school, and I did not go to university because of the debt that I would incur. So I was very sensitive to financial, very poor family. So I did not go to university. I know that we talked with Yulia, who's the marketing person. Yeah. And she was saying that a lot of your universities are not are free. They're state-run universities. Is that true? Could you just give us a little bit of an idea about that?
Yes, it's very good question. In Russia and China is big number of students, actually big number of seats at university are available at zero cost. So it's free. And people can apply, and there is I would say, comparatively easy, but competition. They have to compete for those seats, but many students can get a seat at the university and study for free. This is true. In Russia and in China, in India and other countries, less seats. I mean, like very small numbers, but still available. Because when we also speak about BRICS Plus, we are countries with the same mood that let's cooperate together, but we are very different. Countries are very different, and we have a different, first of all, different educational infrastructure. In Russia and China is most developed. And for us, it's easy to give the free space. For other countries, it's not easy because they don't have enough space for their own students. That is why here we can share our experience. How do we develop higher education system? How do we manage to grow so fast? And sometimes, let's say like in India, private sector, higher education is growing up very well. And they have very well established private universities. And this is also very good because if government is not able to build up 100 universities every year, a new one, but sometimes business can do it because there are people from India who is ready to pay for this. This is also in general good. And here we are also open for private and non-private universities, doesn't matter. But in general, we have to understand that we have a different infrastructure, and that is why sometimes it's not easy to do everything equal, but you see that partners can adjust their needs towards partners possibilities, and we can find good cooperation. Sometimes students from India come for short courses and or long-term courses, and our students will come for short courses, and they will see how something is organized and maybe implemented in their university. Stuff like that.
May I add some numbers to our discussion just to be
Yes.
For this year, scholastic year for 2024-25 in Russia, according to the Ministry of Education, in Russian, 160,361 students may study for free.
Whoa.
Those guaranteed by state, covered and paid by the state. It means
Yes.
so you being a student, you may apply for the free place in the university if you are smart enough, if you are good enough, if you are well trained at school enough. So you may study for free. It's all universities, all faculties, all directions, all the spheres, fields. 160,361 students. 61, yeah, exactly. 61 students.
That is a lot.
So that's guaranteed by the state. Others have to pay.
Yes.
For
But
the
still,
Can I?
this is a good number because it's actually every year about 35,000 new students. And because they have to study sometimes preparatory course and then 5 or 6 years of study, depending on medicine or non-medicine, and it comes into 6 or 7 years of study. And when we sum up all of them, we have this big number. Also, I want to add information about China and also maybe some non-BRICS plus countries, like Vietnam. Sometimes outbound country is paying for students to study abroad, like China and Vietnam. So students from China and Vietnam,
like a scholarship.
yes, they have scholarship from their government to study abroad. Yes, this also helps a lot. But there are just maybe 5-10 countries which gives good number of scholarships to their citizens.
Yeah, right. Can I just ask particularly, because I know this is not a little bit off, but I would like to. So say, for example, right now there's like Krista Liz, who just commented, may be interested, right? For me, I was thinking, okay, if I was watching this broadcast, I would probably go and see maybe the international relations officer at a university and then ask them to contact BUA, right? Would that be the right channel? I know we're not trying to encourage directly students, but would that
actually, sometimes it should be someone who will inform person responsible for international cooperation. There is a BUA, and you can contact them, and they will help you with the registration, and you will become a member of BUA. Yes, so just any person who is official staff of the university responsible for international cooperation can contact us, and of course we will accept them.
Oh, that's amazing.
But what about the prestige of the universities? So we know that there are ratings, and Clive will ask you the next question about the ratings. We've been talking about it as well, that the best universities are situated in one country. They are according to the international rating of another country. So, and how do you manage this?
Masamba, would you like to answer this question about ratings of universities?
And well,
I'll give you.
Clive, excuse me, and Clive, maybe you will go directly with the question, so Masamba will have to.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically the question is that, what are your thoughts on the proposal for an alternative university ranking system tailored to the BRICS countries? But I think people are generally very interested in this, new ranking system and what you guys are trying to develop.
I think the ranking system is a product of marketing more than the objective kind of cross-section of the university. Yes, of course, we have to count and somehow be able to quantify the quality of education. So some kind of ranking is necessary, but the way it is used, especially in the countries that are just coming in to the ranking game, it's more of a marketing tool than the actual quality of the university. So personally, I recommend that students use the rankings as the entry point, but do not base their decision making on that, and dig a bit deeper into the profile of the university, about scientific schools, their projects, their research, their affiliation with industry, innovation, and so on, to really understand. So part of the education is learning the institution itself as an object, to see what the university is actually doing. Ranking is a very easy way to make a decision, but anything easy is subject to a big mistake. Because you may end up in a course or a school that may not necessarily fit your personal ambition and your talent. So the way to use the ranking is to look at the individual trajectories, like how individual trajectories of the school may contribute to the students' professional development. And that comes from, again, I'm coming back to the same point, it comes to the amount or the quality of industrial partners that the university works with. So, for example, State Corporation Rosatom project that I'm coordinating in Africa, it's 21 universities in the consortium of the Rosatom network that prepare specialists for all aspects of the nuclear industry and subsequent adjacent industries as well. So here, the university may not be ranked at all, yet the way their programs are structured, they make sure that the student is employed. So what would be more important for the student, to be in a highly ranked university with a degree or with a guaranteed job after a graduation? So as Bogdan said, you have to envision your future and base it on that image. In fact, a little linguistic contribution. In Russian language, the word education is образование, образ, образование. Obraz means image. It's like you are imagining your future and imagining a subject of your study constantly. So this should be your guide in imagining your future, and use whatever rankings or publications or interviews or presentations of the university as guide for you to make your final decision based on all contributions of that particular school, particular course, particular professor, and particular industrial partner, where that knowledge will be then implemented. So rankings are an instrument. It is a useful instrument, but it's not the one that students should be basing their decision on when it comes to education. You have to be a lot deeper than that to make the right choice for the career.
That's interesting point of view. What would you, Clive, prefer to have? To graduate the university with ranking, or university that guarantees your employment?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm thinking when I was young. I want to make some money. I need a car. If I'm going to get a girl, I want a house, right? I want some cash. Exactly. And to be, I find that really interesting as an engineer. You know, if I was going to study about nuclear energy, I'd be going to Russia. I mean, and then I want to know what Russian universities there are. I mean, Masamba, you're talking about Africa because that's developing there in nuclear energy. But yeah, absolutely. I guess this is the power of the BRICS Plus Universities Association, where you're trying to build this this support, this administration system to support the universities so that they can guide students actually properly, so they can be guided, so there is industry connection, so that they do have the opportunities and they do connect. I mean, this is actually quite fascinating, I think. I hope the audience appreciates this sort of insight.
Well,
just to add to this point, you mentioned nuclear energy and ranking. I work in National University of Science and Technology, MISIS, which is Mining, Metallurgy, Material Science, and People's Friendship University of Russia, named after Patrice Lumumba. Two schools, very different, but they coming together. And I have a story. In MISIS University, we have a department of underground construction. It's one of the oldest departments that used engineering for mining and metros and all sorts of buildings, underground structures. So in Soviet time, Soviet degrees were not recognized in the West. So there is no way you could just finish one degree and go to another university in the West, in the States or England, seamlessly transitioning. However, there was a professor of that department, and if you defended your degree, your scientific research project with that person, that guaranteed your employment anywhere in the world because of the name of that person. He was a real leader in the field. So,
Wow.
so you see, expertise and professionalism of a particular person and their magnitude of academic influence are more influential than any rankings or any borders that the political conflicts create. So that's another thing. You have to follow people, because at the end of the day, you want to be inspired by people that actually teach you, people with their passion for the subject. And in this case, I think demonstrated very well. If you have a signature of that person, then doesn't matter where you go, they will take you, because they know that that guy will not just sign off the degree for the sake of maintaining a good track record of graduate or whatever they have to do to make sure the rankings are high. He makes sure that the person graduates in the school, knows the subject from A to Z, and there is no compromise there. So you have to really be careful and follow passion of people to be inspired, and then carry on to make sure that you really contribute the development of economies. We started with that. Yet how do people contribute to the economy? You have to make that choice very carefully and be prepared to work, because it's your interaction with the field of study that will make the contribution, not the degree, not the ranking of the university or prestige or anything like that. These are all subjective things that have to do with marketing and pricing of the courses that contribute completely different structures rather than those who develop economy for the better life of all people.
May I add about degrees? The degrees are not recognized even today, Masamba. You know that.
Wow.
You know that it was not only in Soviet Union. Even today, for example, my degree in linguistics is not recognized neither in Europe nor in the United States, and I know that it is. I know the story of one dentist who immigrated to Spain, looking for some better future, as Bogdan mentioned. He was not allowed. He's a professor in dentists. He's a dentist, a professor at high school. He was not allowed. He was not allowed to work until he would not recognize, and until his degree is not recognized. But he was working at the university. He's a professor. He is practical surgeon in a dentist. No, he had to start from the very beginning to be an assistant to a dentist in an office in Spain. So this
awesome.
is the but
I would say
one
that, you know, medical and especially dentistry is a mafia. They have, especially in US, the highest price for dentistry is in US, but it's because their Society of Dentistries, they create they lobby some law that if someone comes from abroad with a dentistry degree, we do not recognize it. You have to pay for the dentistry degree in US to invest. It's like you pay your bill to become a dentistry, and it costs something like up to $80,000 per year.
Whoa.
Something when you invest 40 $400,000 or $500,000 to be in a community of those dentistries, and then when you are proper dentist, then you can practice, and then you can charge people 500, 1,000 for one small operation. Yes, yeah, this is mafia. This is for sure, because we have many medical students coming to study in Russia and in very developed countries. All, I know, in general, general medicine is so-so, but dentistry is the most
Corrupted.
difficult, yes, most difficult sphere where you can enter from outside, only from inside. But when you enter from inside, it's cost a lot. That's why I say our services cost a lot, because you see, not so many people can afford to pay education for dentistry degree. Yeah, very strange stuff.
So
Yeah.
clean your
Well,
teeth
yeah, go
better.
ahead, Anastasia.
Well, if we are talking about the degrees, and how is the association of the universities, your association, addressing the challenge of mutual recognition of degrees?
Mm.
Yes, very good question.
Qualifications among BRICS countries.
Yes, this is one of the topic which we open on our discussion between colleagues, and where we try to collect from people their opinion. How can we adjust it? How can we make our system be more, I would say, recognized, or be on the same wave, be on the same order, because each country really different. Let's say China and Russia somehow same, India a little bit different from us, but India and South Africa a little bit same. And the general structure, when we have bachelor degree about 4 years is okay, and then master degree for 2 years is okay. But for some specific fields like medicine, dentistry, always many questions. And this is why we want to bring people together for the conference, when we discuss not just cooperation for student and faculty exchange, but also how to make less formalities, how to overcome these obstacles about recognition. Because when we want students to study 1 year in one country and then 2 or 3 years in another country, students want to have both degrees, and we must have a proper agreements between governments and between universities. There are existing good agreements between Russia, China, Russia, India, which allowed us to have those programs done. Still, some formalities should be done, but possible. It's hard, but possible. And here, what we can do as a community of those international people who are responsible for higher education, we can come into common project as a proposal to our Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They will prepare related acts or related maybe orders to be implemented by the prime ministers, or maybe through the parliament, when we will have a mutual recognition between BRICS. At this moment, law system of our countries has some obstacles, but it is under project. I mean, it's undergo, and we are the one who has to create this proposal. Without us, it will not happen. This is also one of our
Goals.
in our mission. Yes.
Well, that's important to have mutual recognition. Yeah, I knew that we have between Russia and India mutual recognition, but not in all stuff and not in all faculties. In medicine, yes, that's why a lot of Indian students are coming to Russia to study medicine, because coming back in their country, they are well qualified doctors. But we have a lot of countries in BRICS right now, so it's important to bring this question into discussion. First of all, between states, between, as Bogdan says, the ministries of education, the foreign affairs ministers, maybe the special committees. As soon as we start discussing little by little, I think we can move.
Then we can move and we can come into actually common opinion how to implement it. It's possible because people from the universities, they really know, okay, this document is the obstacle, but if you will change something like this, or if you will accept credits by this way, it will be good, and there will be less bureaucracy, and there will be smooth go for students. They can come here and there, and it will be less obstacle, more movement.
That's why you need that collaboration between the different universities from different
Correct.
countries, don't you? Yeah, to come together, talk, have the expertise. Right. Yeah, this is, you guys obviously know what you're doing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Just to make an additional point, universities have to hurry up and really come up with the working system of this degree recognition, because industry is not sleeping. They create professional bodies where you don't even need the degree to work. You can come, get the training, you get professional training accreditation, and you get your skills upgraded as you progress within the industry. And what is important now for the universities to implement is a detailed monitoring system of individual progress in the university. So it's not just a label of the degree, but it's a track record rather that makes a specialist. So a specialist doesn't need a degree. He acquires the right skill set necessary for that particular job. So whilst this discussion is going on, it's only going to create more discussions because it's a legal field, right? You can come up with one concept, then there's another concept, then there's the law, then there's the change, the adjacent. It's the old way of doing things. If you want to work, you go and get the skills. Some professional mentor checks them, and they put his name on it because he's the one responsible, and that works a lot better in the professional field. So universities have to really look into the industry and how the skills are transferred and how they're monitored, and move away from this top-down approach and really pay attention bottom-up approach with the monitoring, checkpoints, individual responsibility from those who guide these people, and it becomes more reliable system because you can monitor the track record of the person rather than just judge them by the degree and this recognition stuff. So again, industry is the solution. You have to look at what you are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're we're over an hour, so sorry. And but probably the last question. We'll probably run the last question, Anastasia. But we have to get you guys back. Okay, we have to, because I think that what you've sort of just gone over, especially in the last 20 minutes or so, is really important, because what I'm starting to get an idea of is that it's not only absolutely essential, this is tip of the spear type of thing for what's happening in BRICS and the development, the political change, the economic change, all the things, and the young people being in that industrious area time of their life. They're the ones that all the financial institutions are looking at. They're the ones that the industry is looking at. We need these people for this, etc. But we've probably got to look at this a few different ways, I think, and we'll to tackle this, because not only do we want to, we've been a little bit suiting towards the potential students, but I know you guys are actually trying to suit to the administrations. And that's not easy to do, actually. I know you have different strategies and initiatives, but I think this is very exciting because the developing countries need to have this. This is absolutely essential. And if they don't have this, it's not going to work. They're not going to develop. So anyway, I'm sort of babbling. Sorry, I just said we we need to stop. But I sort of want to make that point too. Hopefully the audience sort of understands why we're talking about this. It's not as colorful and as drama as the new currency and this. This is how you do it. This is what you do if you're going to develop your country. You have industry, and you go, we're going to have this industry, and then you get the young people excited, educated, they know what they're doing, and you connect them up, and then it develops. In a few years, you've got things made, you've got power, you've got water, you've got improved conditions, you've got automobiles being made, you've got refrigerators being made, air conditioners being made, right? This is how it's done. I hope you're listening to these guys. Okay. Anyway, let's just say the last bit. I've already gone over. The director's going to turn us off. So, what are the long-term goals of the BRICS Plus University Association, and how do you envision the future of educational cooperation among BRICS nations?
Okay, long-term goals, when we have every young person in BRICS country have possibility to choose university for study, every student. This is a goal which will solve many problems with economy and industry. Because at this moment, for example, in India, for one seat at university, there are 700 people. So they don't have enough seats. And you cannot make more universities or enough universities just in one day. It will take 10, 20, 30 or more years. And here we can share experience of how we organize our education system, how to invite foreign students, how to prepare your own citizens to become first master, then PhD, then come back and create from the institute to create university, and then you can bring more students. So the main goal, every young person has possibility to apply and study at university, and our countries are able to do free exchange of students. I mean, like, you can study, for example, part of bachelor degree in Russia, part in India, and then maybe master in China. Because we really must be not like two sides, sometimes even 3 or 4 points. Then we can prepare really global people. I mean, those who will, I would say, run the projects. And other people who want to be just, an engineer, they can make an education in one or two countries. But it should be like everyone has possibility to get an education, and it can be really international education. Then it will give a lot of opportunities for industry to have enough well-educated, skilled people, and economy will boom and grow. And people will have their dream done when you have this house, your beautiful wife, cash, and all that stuff. Anyway, economy is good, education is good, but our world is material. Also, we must have everything done on ground. It comes through education. But when we have enough of this education, we have enough people to run projects, run industry, have products, and then exchange it.
Right.
Masamba,
Yeah.
please add something.
My phone just dropped. Apologies.
It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, we're all people. I've got my son playing here. I'm looking at him and thinking what he's gonna do when he goes to university. And this idea came into my mind. If we look at the word university, not in the sense of a place or a building or a process, but in terms of quality, we're living in a world where we have to be dynamic, flexible, in fact, universal, because we have to interact with different people, different cultures. So if we look at university as a quality, to be able to process information, adapt to the circumstances, come up with the right solution in various fields of human endeavors, then that becomes a global phenomenon that we inevitably have to help one another to increase each other's universities. And universities as buildings are the hubs or nodes where this flow of information is the most dense, so to say, all connected in one network, one global network. So these rankings and competition and degrees and segregation are no longer relevant because they do not contribute the university of the individual. They connectivity, so to say, and processing power to look at competition. I think now is the time
Yeah,
to
very
change
poor connection.
all these established stereotypes because they're no longer working. Uh, we, we, we don't need to deal with these problems. With all these new technologies that we have to be able to come up with better solutions. We have to have the guts and be brave to implement them because something that is working, yes, it's safe, it's predictable, but it's no longer relevant because the world is changing so fast. And the BRICS community, a whole bunch of people with unknown, untapped resource of the ways to think about science, the ways to think about cultural practices, the ways to organize our societies with technology. And BRICS countries have now the advantage of implementing cutting edge without going through all the mistakes that the old established economies have gone. They can just take the best and implement it immediately.
Yeah.
And 10 years later, that will be the established culture. So if we are not cautious about this and still think that these are developing economies like little kids that need support and help, we will be left out because, with kids, when you're bringing them up, they remember everything. If you if you are somewhat delusional or you don't give them enough attention or anything, you think they don't remember, but they remember everything. When they grow up, you're gonna get it back. So that's what we have to
So,
be cautious about. My son has inspired me. Now I'm ignoring him. He's playing the games. I understand that one way or another, this is going to come back to me. So the same thing with the BRICS community and this established university engagement and environment. We have to change. We have to be quick, and we cannot afford to mistreat or to lose out on individual talent because that will make the future that we are looking.
good.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's great. Well, we got to end off. Sorry. I would love to talk more. I would really love to, but we're trying to manage this, with the marketing and the, on YouTube, and we want the more people to see it. So, so thank you very much, everyone. Anastasia, Bogdan, Masamba, thank you very much for coming and having this discussion. I really appreciate it. Anastasia's not a guest, but I treat her like it because she didn't always come on.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah, and she's a professional too, right? She's a linguist, as she told you. So this is part of it. But yeah, unless you got any other comments, we'll end off.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you.
It's been great.
We will definitely invite you once again.
Yeah, and also we would like to point out that see you in India for our BRICS University Summit first week of December to continue our discussion and to have more opinion from other people who will be participants of our conference.
Thank you for your
Okay.
invitation. Thank you
Great,
very much.
thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to BRICS Briefs. If you've enjoyed this dive into the multipolar world and wish to join the conversation, please comment below. Please like and share this episode to spread it as far as possible. You can follow us on our Substack and our other social media platforms, especially our Telegram channel, all linked below. If you are connected to any university or a higher education organization, please go to the website brics.world and click on the apply button. Stay curious, stay connected, stay optimistic. Let's keep exploring together. Paka paka.